watching the panel and, well, I guess for the last 40 weeks I've dreamt of uttering the words, would you please welcome Shane Warne. You're back from the Gabba. Was it tough sitting up there in the commentary box watching Stuart McGill on the last day?
No, I wish it didn't rain. I wish the boys had a won, but it was actually entertaining in the commentary box, especially Bill. He really does get carried. He loves it. He watches it at a wicket goes, oh, yes, got him! He loves it. Come on, sit down, Bill. But it's actually quite
And what's
funny.
Richie like? Very impassive and...
He's the professional.
Yes, yeah.
But anything goes now. It's actually quite fun.
Do you get on well with them? Like, you would have gone out to dinner with Richie or those guys?
Been out with Richie a few times. It's Ian Botham and Ian Chappell's a bit frisky.
They don't get on, do they?
But no, it was good. Enjoyed it.
And do you sit there and go, oh, geez, it feels great in my lounge room, but now I just, you get a bit of tension?
I was a bit... I was sort of missing it not being out of there, walking out, having a look at the wicket and all that sort of stuff. But I sort of wanted to be out there. But seeing the boys do well was pretty good. And hopefully they'll whip the Poms in the next few tests.
Yes, it was a close thing. Do you think Stuart McGill was unlucky to be dropped for Perth?
Well, I think so. I think he's a little bit unlucky, but I can see where the selectors are coming from. Perth obviously suits the quick bowlers. It's back like it was in the old days, fast and bouncy. Suits the offies, but I think Stuart was a bit stiff.
Yes, because he was. I mean, certainly a lot of pressure on the guy, but living in your shadow, obviously, people keep making the comparisons, and I guess that's unfair for a young bloke starting out, but it's there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the comparisons between all the eras, all the Australian cricket team in this era compared to the 70s, compared to the 80s, which one's the best? I think those comparisons will always be there. But I think the good thing with Stuart is that he's actually being his own man.
Yes.
He's doing his own things. He's not trying to be anyone else, and he's doing well.
But Shane, those blokes from the 40s, they were hopeless.
Yeah, Bradman,
Run after the ball, it was... God, when the ball would go
that
through...
too now. We chase the ball.
You know why? They were all smokers.
That's true. That's all.
Spoken, Kate.
Yes.
Thanks very much. Thanks, mate. I got a life.
Give me that.
That's New Year's Day. That's New Year's Day, isn't it?
Yeah, starts January the 1st.
Right. Oh, so you're okay now. You can.
I'm up to about 120 a day now.
Do you think you can stockpile them?
Well, hopefully I can. I don't mind a challenge, so I think.
Have you ever tried to give up before?
I mucked around with it a couple of months when I was playing footy at St Kilda, trying to get in the reserves and seniors and that stuff. I gave up for a couple of months, but never gave it a full shot.
No. This time you're doing the patch thing, and
I've got the gum, 4 milligram gum.
Wow.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to trick the boys too when they're just about to walk out. Get the gum out the pocket, the Nicorettes, and just sort of throw them in.
hey, Judge, try this.
Imagine Tubby at first slip. Be on fire.
But does Tubby chew gum? I'm not sure. Goodness gracious. And do you actually speak to the boys, like when you're working for the 9 commentary team, like during the first test, do you pop down the rooms and or do you kind of keep a distance because you're commentating?
I sort of kept my distance,
yes.
but before the morning I wished Mark Taylor's congratulations 100th test.
Yes, sure.
Wished McGill good luck on the last day, and you sort of get to say hello to the boys, but it's sort of strange. You do sort of keep your distance, and you sort of understand the guys from the old school saying, no, we don't want to come down the dressing room. And you say, come on, come down for a beer, but you can sort of, I don't know, you just know what they're talking about.
And so sometimes, like when you're commentating, do you find yourself saying things like, excuse my lack of cricket parlance, but, oh, that was a bad hit?
Yeah.
And thinking, oh, no, I've got to see them after, or...
He'll know.
You know, that sort of thing?
No, I don't, not really.
No,
you just
you're not conscious
call it
of
as
it.
you see it. I don't like sledging anyone unless I'm actually playing cricket.
Yes.
The commentary box, you sort of say all nice things, but when you're out in the field, well, you sledge the shit out of them, Buster.
Have you ever been sledged and you've gone, actually, that's a pretty fun thing.
I reckon I laughed a couple of times. That I tell you, we gave Darryl. What about Darryl Cullinan, South Africa? He came out and there was this big thing in the papers. I've been to see my psychiatrist. I'm riding the head now. I know exactly what I'm doing. Facing Shane Warne's going. I know how to cope with it now. We got a wicket. He came out to bat. And the stump mic was right there. I said, I better be close. So the boys sort of stood around there. And I said to him, mate, I'm going to send you straight back to your shrink, I tell you. I thought, geez, that stump mic's there. Second ball. Go back and see your shrink, pal. On the couch. Yeah, go back on the couch.
In that time with Darryl Cullinan, for people that don't know at home, I don't know how many times you got him, but it was most of the times, and with the flipper a lot of the time. Did it feel like you're going, this is backyard cricket? I know I'm going to get this clown.
I really enjoyed getting him because every time I worked out the bat, he was at second or third slip. He'd say, "Hey, Fatso, say some lunch for us, will you?" So I really enjoyed it. Every time I knocked him over, get on your bike, champ.
Rob, you mentioned backyard cricket. Now, Shane, was it a disadvantage for you being a leggy? Because when you bowl in the backyard, it's usually on grass.
Yep.
The ball doesn't
turn.
spin as much. Did you have one of those little, like, concrete sort of little driveways to the hills hoist where you could use as a pitch or something?
Too much information, son.
Or at the beach on the sand, the ball doesn't turn as much. I mean, as a kid, how were you able to practice your leggies?
Yeah.
Well, in the backyard, it was just basically I'd always bat second ball because it's 6 and out in the backyard.
Yeah. Oh,
They hit you for 6 and I'd just go and bat, so I didn't really practice my leggies at all.
That's it.
Yeah, over
have
the
to
fence,
take a
lose a
wicket.
rock and start again.
When you take a wicket, do you decide how you're going to react? Is you practice? There's a move you do which I love, which is the. Now, did you decide? Did that just happen on the day, or did you think, today I might go, whoa? Because you can use those if you're. It'd be great if you you get back in the team and
I
just
love that shit, though.
turn to the camera and do that, and we'll know you're doing it for us.
I think depends on the situation of the game. You never plan what you're going to do, but sometimes it's a really important wicket or it's really an emotional time sort of thing that you have a bit of banter between the batter and you really knock him over and it changes the game. You got to be excited and sometimes you carry on like a pork chop.
I love that
it's
shit.
great.
Oh,
Sometimes it's
great.
just like a wicket and next
I reckon
next,
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I reckon imagine that ball bang.
Really entertainment. It's obviously a very psychological thing, especially when you're bowling leg spin. I want to show you something. We've got a bit of Nasser Hussain batting against McGill. Look at the facial expression. What does this tell you, this man here facing this ball?
Good piece of bowling.
What does that say? What is that? Yeah, well, we know what happened, but what's that all about? He must...
Did he pull his dacks down? What did he do?
I would say that he's got Nasser Hussain be thinking, I've got no idea what's going to happen. What do you think's going to happen then?
The light was poor, though,
The
wasn't
light was
That's
poor,
true.
yeah.
Right.
So he might have been trying to just focus his eyes. We'll give him the benefit of the
I
doubt.
want to ask about that dismissal because for people at home, and you might learn something from this too, Shane, is the normal leg spinner comes towards and goes away, and the wrong un comes and then goes in.
Yep.
And he was bowled by a wrong un then.
Yep.
You don't bowl that many wrong uns, but it's an incredibly tricky...
It is a good delivery. I find with my leg break that I bowl lots of leg breaks, and to batsmen that I haven't bowled to a lot of, I'll bowl a wrong un because you're at this end. Say you're the non-strikers end, Glenn's down the batting. I bowl a wrong un to Glenn.
Oh, I love the thought of this.
Oh, I'm getting off on it.
So you're at this end, and you see the ball actually go like a wrong un.
Right.
So then when you get down there, you know that I bowl a wrong un. So you're looking for it.
Oh, okay.
So then if you don't actually bowl it, you might bowl a top spinner that goes straight that looks like a wrong un, and you start to think, is that it?
Oh,
And he
okay.
plays for it. So occasionally you bowl it to left-handers, I bowl a little bit more. But to right-handers, no, I don't bowl a lot.
And can they pick? Can you tell? Oh, he's picking me, and I won't do it anymore. He's picking it out of the
Sometimes
hand.
it's good when batsmen can pick you. It's because they don't know when it hits the wicket how far it's going to bounce or turn. You know, you try and turn the ball, but they don't know how far. So sometimes when they pick you, they get overconfident and they start to play. So obviously it's easy if no one knows which way they're going, but it's okay if they can pick you.
You
as
talk
well.
about letting one rip. Letting one rip? Does that mean you? No, but I rip out. And then you come in and bowl.
Hey, Glenn, pull my finger.
See, I let that go, but you all jumped on it like, thanks, Tom, you didn't laugh. No, but does that mean...
bowling to you.
No, does that mean you are really, really extending? Does that mean you're putting extra pressure on the shoulder? What does it mean?
Well, when you really give one a rip, there's a difference between just sort of bowling a leg break and really trying to give it everything you got, which means you get the curve in the air. When you get the curve in the air, that's how much spin you put on the ball.
Right.
So when you see the ball actually curving in the air, that's the amount of spin you put on it, which means you're giving it a rip.
So you don't rip a lot in an over, do you?
Probably 2 or 3 and over, and the rest of them you sort of build it up pressure, then try and let one rip and try and get the edge or something like that. Because if you let one rip all the time, generally they'll play and miss a lot. Or they'll just hit their pad.
Yeah.
So you've got to try and set them up for it.
It's fascinating because it's like a game of chess. You have in front of you so many variations, whereas a lot of bowlers can bowl a little bit of swing and a bit of pace, but you can sort of really think it out and really play with someone's mind, you know, so to speak. And that's what, I mean, you've only got 2 arms and some fingers, but...
No, what you mean, because in the commentary box, because Benno often commentates on you, and he'll go, here's what he's trying to do here now, or interesting ball. He can actually see the chess moves, and then it's played out.
So it's like a science.
Yeah.
See, when I watch it, I don't see that.
What do you see?
Well,
She likes it when the duck walks out.
No, I can follow some of it, but the strategies and the actual science of what you're doing with the ball. And actually, when I've been to the cricket a couple of times, it happens so fast, I can't follow it a lot of the time, and I have to pick up my cues from the crowd around me.
I'll tell you what,
it
I can't
happens so
understand.
fast.
You did an ad for Just Jeans.
Yep.
Now, can we just have a quick look at that ad? Because I can't work out. No, we can't see it?
No, you
I've
can't.
got a couple of... Can I just, in the meantime, ask you a couple of quick... When did you find out that you could do it? Were you down at the beach one day and go, shit?
No, it doesn't spin on sand.
No, but did you...
No,
It doesn't either, you're right.
it doesn't.
Don't encourage
doesn't
him,
do anything.
Shane.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's no.
Because
Yes.
No, but did you actually one day, did you just go, man, that's... I mean, were you going to be a fast bowler, a medium pace bowler, and then you just went, geez, I can spin that really, really well?
I think as I was like any kid growing up, I wanted to be Ian Chappell or you know, Dennis Lilly, Rod Marsh, and I used to bat and I used to muck around with a little bit of this stuff, and then I started getting picked in a couple of representative sides and took a couple of wickets, and I think in the end I was in the right place at the right time. Australia was looking for a leg break bowler, and I just happened to take a couple of wickets at the right time, and it all happened in about 18 months. Suddenly I was playing for Australia, and I only played 1 or 2
I think
games.
you're underplaying it. You're a legend.
No, I only played 1 or 2 games.
flipper that you do, you like invented that, didn't you? Was that...
There's different versions of the flipper over the years, and then you sort of use a different mixture of everyone's and make up your own sort of way of doing it.
And
So
you just did that?
Yeah.
And
You
the
get all the information off everyone.
the Zuta. Is that how does that come out of the... can you show
That
me?
actually, like your leg break comes out like that,
Yeah.
and the Zuta actually comes out like that. So it
So
goes...
why can't he hit? So your arm comes over and then you just go, you
No,
push it out.
That's a
You
Muller
got to be careful. Well, yes. He sometimes you got to be careful that you don't actually throw it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when you actually go that way, you got to make sure that you don't actually.
So it's backspin and it skids
Yes,
through.
exactly.
Shane does have a video out, an instructional video, if you want to
Oh,
go
to
so
do it.
Kate, if you want to learn
Now-
a few of these details.
Can I just ask you something else quickly? Do you always wear white zinc on your lips?
Yep, most of the time.
You wear it like even now?
No, I tell you what.
It's really white.
I tell you, in the makeup room, they gave me some Blistex, and I put it on. They said, "Oh, this will just moisten your lips."
Yeah,
So I said,
your
"Oh,
lips
yeah, okay."
always look
I said, "I'm
white.
putting zinc on here." So they're going really white.
That's a
Yeah,
practical
white
joke,
lips.
Danny.
Yeah, got me. Thanks very much.
Just
Yeah,
have a
got
look
me.
at the Just Jeans ad because
Oh,
I don't
okay, sure.
understand what's going on here.
Please.
He's what's happening is now you've gone, for what I can work out, you've gone down to the 12 apostles to do the ironing. Is that what it is? And you decide you don't need the iron, so that I'll bugger that off and throw it over the edge. I mean, you must have had a hell of an extension cord to make it work.
That's a good ad.
It goes off.
Goes off.
Well,
Is that the idea that the jeans they don't need
Don't need
ironing?
ironing, yeah.
It
You
came
can
back
wash
and
and then
hit you
hang
in
them up.
Came
and-
back and hit you in the head. The iron, didn't it?
Yeah, and it kept going around. I think it hit Tony
So
Greig.
you didn't pick your own wrong un.
I didn't know what was
Shane,
going.
we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for dropping by tonight. We really appreciate it.
thank you very
It's great
much,
to meet
Tom.
you, and we look forward to seeing you back in the baggy green, hopefully in a test or two.
Yeah, hopefully 3rd or 4th test, but I think the 4th test is probably more realistic.
Sensational.
Good
Would
on
you
you,
please
Shane.
thank Shane?
Thanks very much.
Coming up after the break, Carl Talking facts. We're going to get into them. That's next on the panel.